Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today is going to be the greatest day of your life. You know, success can be a tricky thing. It's what we all strive for, but sometimes we end up self-sabotaging our own progress without even realizing it. And this self-sabotage is often the result of certain behaviors that we may have adopted over time. You see, they may seem harmless or insignificant, but these behaviors can have a significant impact on our ability to achieve our goals. I want to talk to you today about a few of these common behaviors and a little bit about how we might be able to overcome them and become a better us. So the first one is procrastination. Procrastination. The age-old enemy of success, right? We've all been there. Putting off tasks for later when we know we should be getting them done right now. And this habit can sneak up on you. It might seem harmless at first. What's the harm of delaying something for a little bit, right? I'm on the couch, I'm warm under a blanket, I'm watching my favorite show. But you know what? Before you know it, you're behind schedule. You're scrambling to catch up, and the quality of your work may suffer as a result. Procrastination is more than what most people think. It's not just laziness. Often, it's a sign of fear. A fear of failure, a fear of success, or a fear of judgment. It's a form of self-sabotage because it prevents us from taking the steps necessary to achieve our goals. And if you find yourself constantly pushing tasks off until the last minute, it might be time to take a closer look as to why. Understanding the root cause of your procrastination is the first step to overcoming it. How about perfectionism? This one really hits close to home for me. There is a fine line between striving for excellence and falling into the trap of perfectionism. It's in my own life, I've seen how perfectionism can be a form of self-sabotage. I can remember many times spending countless hours on a project, tweaking and refining every little detail until it was just right. But in the end, I had spent so much time aiming for perfection that I almost missed my deadline. Perfectionism can lead us to a set of unrealistic standards that we set for ourselves. And when we inevitably fall short, it can be the result of feeling inadequate, but it can also induce feelings of failure within us. It's important to remember that making mistakes is a natural part of the learning process, and striving for progress, not perfection, is what will ultimately lead us to success. Another one that kind of hits close to home for me is the fear of change. But as I've looked at this and studied it a little bit over time, I now understand that humans are biologically wired to resist change. You see, it's a survival mechanism that dates back to our ancestors. They relied on routine and predictability for their survival. And in today's world, this resistance can hold us back from achieving our full potential. Fear of change can keep us stuck in a comfort zone, which is the enemy of success. That comfort zone, that's where everything is safe and familiar, right? But success often requires us to step into the unknown, take risks, and embrace new experiences. It's about learning, adapting, and growing, right? So if we let our fear of change control us, we are sabotaging our own chances of success. So the next time you feel yourself resisting a change, remember, that's just a natural response. You're not alone or wired to feel that way. But then don't let it hold you back. Instead, see it as an opportunity for growth and development. It will help you be the best you that you can be. How about neglecting self-care? And I want to talk about this a little bit because this is a big one. In the American workforce today, we always feel like, there's some badge of honor we get from working 18-hour days for 3 weeks straight to get the project done. And I'm going to tell you, in the pursuit of success, it's also easy to neglect the basics of self-care. Like I mentioned, people skip out on sleep, they eat poorly, or neglect their physical health. in an attempt to squeeze more productivity out of their day. But this approach can be counterproductive. When you neglect your health and well-being, you're not operating at your full capacity. Your energy levels are going to drop, your focus is not going to be there, and your productivity may suffer. I believe that self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity for your long-term success. So the next time you find yourself cutting corners on sleep, nutrition, exercise, or mental health, it might be time to reassess your priorities. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself is the first step towards achieving your goals. And you know what? I care about you, and I want to see you care about you. And I want to see you take care of you. Because when you take care of you, you increase your ability and chances of reaching your dreams, goals, and desires. It's 100% true. Believe me, it's 100% true. Now, avoiding risks, it's natural to want to play safe. After all, taking risks can be a little bit scary. It involves stepping out of our comfort zone and facing the possibility of failure. But here's the thing. Avoiding risks can also mean missing out on the biggest opportunities. Sometimes you just got to step up and do it anyway. And you'll be surprised at how taking calculated risks and stepping into the unknown can increase your chances of success. It's about being willing to take a leap of faith even when the outcome is uncertain. And not believing in yourself. Now, this one is just a bunch of crap. I don't like this. We use self-affirmations. We do whatever we can to stay as positive as we can be, because this one goes right down deep into the heart of all that we do. If you don't believe in yourself, it's hard to make progress towards any goal. Think of it this way. I live in Colorado. It's like trying to climb a mountain while constantly telling yourself you're not a climber. Those negative thoughts create a self-fulfilling prophecy at times. And before you know it, you've talked yourself out of even trying. You got to believe in yourself. And it's not about being arrogant or conceited or thinking you're better than others. It's about trusting your abilities, acknowledging your potential, and giving yourself permission to succeed. Remind yourself of how far you've come and all the challenges that you personally have overcome already. Believe in yourself. It's the first step towards achieving your dreams. Or another one here that I can kind of self-relate to is overthinking. Overthinking is definitely a trap I've fallen into more times than I can count. It's like, I think of it this way. There's a hamster on a wheel in my mind, and he's constantly spinning with thoughts, worries, and what-ifs. That habit can be completely paralyzing. So instead of taking action, I find myself stuck in a loop of indecision, too caught up in analyzing every possible outcome to move forward. But here's what I've learned. Overthinking doesn't prevent problems. It creates them. It drains your energy, kills your focus, and steals your time. Success requires action. It's about making decisions and learning from the outcomes, not getting stuck in analysis paralysis, okay? Or, comparing yourself to others. In this age of social media, it's easier than ever to fall into the comparison trap, I call it. We see highlight reels of our people's lives and our friends, and we start to feel like we're falling behind, right? But comparing yourself to others is a surefire way to sabotage your own success. It shifts your focus from your own goals and progress and onto what someone else is doing. And here's the deal. Success is not a race. It's not about who gets there first or who has the most. It's about achieving your goals and becoming the best version of yourself. Remind yourself of your own goals, your own journey, and your own successes. That's what your focus should be on, okay? Or it's just not setting goals at all. As we've talked about this, I'm not going to agree with this at all. Goals are a roadmap to success. They give us direction, they help us stay focused, and they provide a benchmark for measuring our progress. I want you to think about this. Picture a bay, and within that bay is a big ship. And the big ship's getting ready to leave the bay to go out into the ocean. So the captain just turns the engine on and says, go. I'm sure we can both agree that that ship will not only not get out of the bay, it'll probably run into something and cause all kinds of troubles and problems for others. Now, picture this second scenario. It's the same ship, but the captain plans for leaving the bay and getting out into the ocean, and they have a roadmap for that to occur. So he calls down to the engine room, and they get the engine going. The captain spins up the navigation mechanism and begins to follow the plotted plan that he has defined in order for them to get out of that bay and into the ocean. I'm sure in this second scenario, you can see that by following a plan and setting a goal of getting out of the bay, if the captain follows that process step by step, that ship will clearly and safely get out of the bay and continue on its journey. And that's what goals do for us. When we set goals for ourselves, we're giving ourselves a roadmap which allows us to get out into the world and follow our own path towards our dreams and desires. And without goals, it's easy to just drift aimlessly, right? You just get distracted by whatever comes your way. But I'll tell you what, it's not just about knowing what you want to achieve, but also understanding the steps you need to take to get there. So if you're serious about success, and I know you are, I want to be sure that you're taking the time to set your goals. And remember, a goal without a plan is just a wish, okay? So you can do it. The power lies within you. Reflecting on any of these behaviors and understanding the subtle ways in which we could be sabotaging our own success is no small task at all, right? It requires us to become better and more amazing. It requires us to share honesty, to be self-aware, and to have a willingness to change. And, I believe these behaviors are not character flaws. They're just habits that we've formed over time. And just as they've been learned, they can be unlearned. Habitual self-sabotage is often rooted in fear, the fear of failure, the fear of success, and the fear of change. But you know what? Feel the fear and do it anyway. Take a moment today, I just want to get you thinking, to reflect on the behaviors I've mentioned here. If you recognize any within yourself, view it not as a condemnation, but as an opportunity for growth, okay? Ultimately, the power to change lies within you. And realizing that is the first step towards achieving the success that you deserve. There are 1 billion people on this planet. And no matter how smart, how handsome, how talented, how wealthy any of them are, not a single one of them could ever even come close to being you. You're that unique. You're that amazing. And all the beautiful gifts that are within you are only for you to share. I can't wait to see how you share those gifts in the world, because I know you're amazing, incredible, and you are worth it. Listen, I care about you, and I was thinking about you today. I wanted to share these ideas. I hope you have a beautiful day today. I'll be back tomorrow with some really great stuff. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are too. I'll see you tomorrow, friends. Take care.